All right, beginners, it is science time. So let's turn to our last part of our Unit 1. So this is Unit 1, Lesson 4, Plants and Animal Cells. Every plant and animal is made up of millions of tiny cells. Can you say cell? Cell. So what's made up of cells? Every plant and animal, even us, we're made up of cells. A cell is like a building block. See my building blocks? When you put blocks together, you can make them into something. So see, I'm making something with my building blocks. So cells are like what? Like a building block. You can put them together and make something. Well, we can't, but when we're born, our bodies do it for us. So you might make a tower or a castle. When cells grow together, they make plants and animals. Cells are very tiny, and a cell is like a tiny bag filled with special liquid. This liquid helps other plants of cells move around. The nucleus, can you say nucleus? That's a big word. Nucleus. The nucleus is the brain of the cell that tells all the other plants what to do. So what's the nucleus? The nucleus is like what? Say nucleus, I'm pointing at your head. The nucleus is like the brain of the cell. It tells us what to do. Just like our brain tells us what to do, the nucleus tells everything else what to do. You need a special machine called a microscope. Remember our microscope from school? Now this one's a toy one, but we have a real one in Mr. Plumley's class, and it's really big and cool and heavy. All right, so this is a toy one, but you can use a microscope to see what? The cells. To see cells, a microscope makes tiny things look bigger. When you use a microscope, we can see what a cell looks like. When we see most animal cells, they are what? Round. So an animal cell go like this. An animal cell is round. Most plant cells are shaped like a square or a rectangle. Isn't that interesting? So what is a plant, or what is an animal cell? An animal cell is round. So a plant cell is what? A square. So it's kind of hard to make a square, or a rectangle. Plants also have special parts that change into sunlight to make it into what? Food, because remember plants eat the sun, the plants eat the sunlight and turn into food. You can look at these pictures of the plants and animal cells to see what all the parts are inside the cell. So let's look right here at our picture really closely. Let's point at this yellow part right here. Everyone point at the yellow part like I am. It's called the nucleus. Say nucleus. The nucleus is main control center for the cell. So remember, the nucleus is like the brain. It controls things. And then this is an animal cell. So see how it's round? It's an animal cell. Now our next, this is the nucleus for the animal cell. Now let's look at the nucleus for what? The plant cell. So the nucleus is in the plant and in the animal, but they're shaped different. All right, so now this is the membrane that keeps pieces inside and lets things move in and out of the cell. So let's think of our head. All right, we have a brain, right? I hope you have a brain, because we're probably using it right now. We have a brain. All right, now is our brain super duper hard? No, our brain's actually kind of squishy. So our body has to protect our brain. So what it does is we have what? We have bone around, or we have a skull around our brain to protect it so it doesn't get hurt. Because if our brain gets hurt, that's not good at all. So the membrane protects the nucleus inside. Just like our skull protects our brain, the membrane protects the nucleus, because that's the brain of the cell. Now, the chloroplast changes the light into food. So these little cells right here, they look like maybe jelly beans or something. See these little, there's 3 of them. float inside the cell, and they capture the sun and they change it into food. Because once the sun hits it, it makes it into food and the plant can grow. Because if it didn't have these, would the plant be able to eat? No, and if the plant doesn't eat, what would happen? It would die. So these little things allow the plant to live, and it lets them eat. So this is an animal cell. This is a plant cell. And this is the cytoplasm. I think I'm saying that properly. Cytoplasm. It is the fuel that fills the cell. So inside the cell, it's like this. It's a circle. This is the cell. And the nucleus, the nucleus floats around in the cell. But what would happen if it's banging itself up? What would happen if our brain was getting hit around? That wouldn't be good, would it? So inside there is liquid that fills this, so it just kind of floats around in here, all right? And then this is the cell wall, which helps the plants hold its shape, the plant cell hold its shape. So right here, see how it's kind of thick and it goes all the way around? That's called a cell wall. Say cell wall. And this right here helps the plant what? Helps the plant cell hold its shape, or the animal cell hold its shape. So that way it stays strong like this, but teeny tiny. All right, so let's look at some questions. I know this one's like a really confusing probably for you because there's huge words that sound really big right now, but the older you get, the more you'll hear them, the more you'll know, and the better you'll be able to memorize them. All right, so the first question is, what shape are most animal cells? Do you guys remember? A circle. Most animal cells are circle shaped. What shape are most plant cells? Remember? A square or a rectangle. Good job. And our next question is, can you name the parts of the animal cell, and what about the plant cell? So let's name the parts of the animal cell and the plant cell really fast, okay? So let's say this one again. What's this yellow part right here? The nucleus in the animal cell. And right here on this one, put your finger there, it's the nucleus for the plant cell. And right here we have the membrane. Go ahead, job. And here we have the cytoplasm. See the cytoplasm? It's right here floating inside. And then right here we have a chloroplast, which is the animal's food. So there's one thing missing in the animal cell that it does not have that the plant cell does have, and what's that? The plant cell doesn't need the sun to make food, right? Because animals, they eat food, so they don't need the sun to make food. So do the animal cells have the chloroplast? No, they don't. Only the animal cells. Do only the what? Plant cells have the chloroplast. And our last question is, what is the special machine called to help us see teeny tiny little things? What's that special machine called? This one right here. A microscope. Great job. So now let's turn the page right here. It's kind of like a big project, but let's go ahead and work on it together in just a minute. So we're gonna work on this page together. And if we turn the page, we'll work on this one as well. Great job, beginners. All right, beginners, so let's go ahead and work on our page together. Let's see, the first part says plants and animals, cells. Complete the cells, then label and color them. Now let's look really fast at our picture right here. This is a animal cell because it's kind of round, not too much, but this is kind of round. Now looking at our plant cell, it has a little more shape to it, almost like a square or a rectangle. So this one's like a square rectangle, and this one's more round, like a circle. So let's see, which one's more like a circle? This one right here? Or this one right here? This one. So let's finish drawing this one, because this one is what? Our animal cell. So this is our animal cell, and this is our animal cell. So let's go ahead and draw it out. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, just the best you can. Or just go ahead and finish it just like that. And look, even I made a mistake. All right, so now that we drew Let's finish drawing, or let's start by drawing our membrane. Remember, the membrane keeps the pieces inside and lets things move in and out of the cell. So this is what protects it, the membrane. So should we just draw a line? No, because look how thick the membrane is. It's pretty big. So let's go ahead and draw it just like that. Excellent job. All right, so for the first one right here, the one right here, this is called the membrane. So let's go ahead and write membrane together. It's an M, E, M, B, R, A, N, E. That's a really big word, I know, that's okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and draw. Let's see, let's look right here. What's this right here? Do you guys remember? This is, see, it's pointing right here and this one's pointing right here, the nucleus. And what's the nucleus? It controls the cell, just like a brain. So let's go ahead and finish drawing the nucleus. See how it has little lines? Let's draw a line, take a break, line, 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 just like that. Take your time, ask your mommy and daddy to help you because I know this one can be kind of tricky. And then let's finish drawing the circle inside. Great job. So this one is what? The nucleus. Let's spell nucleus. N, U, C, L, E, U, S. Nucleus. All right, so let's move on right here. Do you guys remember what this is called? The cytoplasm. That's a really big word. So for the cytoplasm, see how it has like little, it looks like almost little hairs, but it's really just filled with liquid. So all we're gonna do is draw little liquid fills, just like that, little hairs. All around. Just like that. And this one, we're gonna write cytoplasm. So it's C, Y, T, O, P, L, A, S, and M. Great job. And then we're going to make, oops, that's an L. Oopsie. We're gonna cross our T right here. Cytoplasm. See, cytoplasm. Great job. All right, and we finished our what? Animal cell. So if you want to write animal, so here we can point right here at the animal cell where it says animal. And then for our plant cell, we can draw a line all the way right here because this is our plant cell. Let's finish drawing our plant cell. Now this one is not as circled. It's a little bit what? Squarish or rectangular. Just like that. And we can finish drawing this bump right here. I might have maybe a bump right there. Remember, what's this part right here, the outer part? It's called the membrane because it protects the plant cell. Let's make sure we draw it kind of thick, just like that. Great job. And see here, we already labeled it membrane, and we already labeled the nucleus right here. So let's finish drawing this nucleus. Great job. Finish drawing that circle inside. Excellent. Great, so now we have to finish drawing some of the chloroplasts, which are these little guys right here. And what do? They change light into food. You can see them right here as well, the chloroplast. So let's go ahead and draw them. They look kind of like jelly beans. So let's draw a little jelly bean with another little jelly bean inside. But the jelly bean inside is gonna have what? Stripes. Good job. So keep going. Keep drawing your chloroplast. Let's draw one more, another little jelly bean with another little jelly bean inside and stripes. Great job. And this is your what? Chloroplast. So let's write chloroplast. O-P-L-A-S-T-S. Great job. And this is our plant cells. So let's go ahead and write our plant cells. So how do we spell plant? P-L-A-N-T. Great job. All right, great job. All right, beginners, so for this one, it's pretty easy. You can ask your mom and dad for help, but what you're gonna do is find some of these words up here, all of these words, and you're gonna circle them in here. So let's see if we can find one together. How about, let's find plants, since we're learning about plants. Let's see, we need to find a P-L-A-N-T-S, plant. Oop, I see plant right here, do you see it? So I'm gonna circle it, and then I'm gonna cross it out. So every time you find one, go ahead and cross it out. And then when you're done, it says, copy the 4 orange letters in the found words to reveal a secret word. So what you're gonna do down here is, we're gonna write the 4 letters that we found. So what was one of them? L. So we'll write L. The next one is what? I. The next one is what? F, and then E. Do you guys know what that spells? Let's see. Life. That's really cool. So our word inside made the word life. All right, beginners, so it says, which word means putting something in groups by things that they have in common? You guys remember that word? That's right, classification. It's right up here. So let's go ahead and write classification. Now the next one says, what is a word for something that has leaves? Do you guys remember? Plants. Plants have leaves because do trees just have leaves? No, but flowers have leaves as well, and they're both plants. Plants is right up here. Let's go ahead and write plants together. Excellent job.